The ongoing U.S.-China trade relationship continues to be one of the most defining aspects of the global economy. In a recent interview on the Ingraham Angle, U.S. Trade Representative Ambassador Jamieson Greer discussed how the Trump administration is approaching its economic strategy with China. Greer highlighted that while tensions remain high, President Trump's policies are focused on achieving fair and reciprocal trade. According to Greer, China's long-standing trade practices such as intellectual property theft, forced technology transfers, and market manipulation have created an uneven playing field that disadvantages American workers and industries. He emphasized that the administration's tariffs and negotiations are aimed at holding Beijing accountable while protecting U.S. manufacturing. Greer further explained that Trump's strong stance is not merely about economics but also national security, as Chinese influence grows globally. The discussion revealed that despite the friction, both sides are exploring new frameworks for sustainable cooperation. Ambassador Greer outlined the major pillars of the Trump administration's trade policy with China. These include the enforcement of existing agreements, reducing the U.S. trade deficit, protecting intellectual property, and ensuring market access for American businesses. Greer stated that Trump's tariffs, though controversial, have pressured China into returning to the negotiating table. He also noted that the administration's approach is about long-term benefits rather than short-term market reactions. By taking a results-oriented strategy, the U.S. aims to ensure that future trade with China is balanced and transparent. According to Greer, this policy is also encouraging American companies to diversify their supply chains, reducing dependency on Chinese manufacturing. The ambassador acknowledged that the trade war has caused temporary market volatility, but he argued the long-term benefits outweigh the short-term costs. American farmers, manufacturers, and small businesses initially felt the pressure of tariffs and supply disruptions. However, Greer pointed out that new trade deals with allies such as Japan, South Korea, and Mexico have begun to offset those losses. Moreover, U.S. companies are gradually adapting to new global trade routes, fostering innovation and resilience. Greer claimed that the Trump administration's bold steps are realigning global trade power, signaling that the U.S. will no longer tolerate exploitation under previous agreements. China has publicly criticized the Trump administration's trade actions, labeling them as economic bullying. However, Greer stated that behind closed doors, Chinese officials are increasingly open to reforms. Beijing has reportedly offered limited concessions, including improved intellectual property protections and reduced import tariffs on American goods. Greer noted that while progress is slow, these developments demonstrate that Trump's pressure campaign is working. He added that China is balancing domestic political stability with its need to maintain global credibility. The ambassador also highlighted the importance of continued dialogue, suggesting that diplomacy remains the key to achieving meaningful reform. Looking ahead, Ambassador Greer expressed cautious optimism. He said the administration envisions a competitive but stable relationship with China, built on transparency and mutual respect. The U.S. intends to continue monitoring compliance with trade agreements while pushing for reforms in areas such as digital trade and energy. Greer emphasized that while confrontation is not the goal, standing firm is necessary to safeguard American interests. He predicted that the next phase of negotiations would focus on technology standards, cybersecurity, and fair competition in emerging industries like AI and green energy. In conclusion, Ambassador Jamieson Greer reaffirmed that President Trump's America First trade agenda is reshaping the global economic order. While critics argue that tariffs have strained international relations, supporters believe they are essential for restoring fairness in global commerce. Greer summarized that the administration's strategy is rooted in strength, not hostility. By demanding accountability from China and promoting domestic growth, the Trump administration aims to secure a more balanced and prosperous future. As the global economy continues to evolve, the outcome of this U.S.-China trade standoff will likely define the next decade of international economic relations.